Hello everyone, today is Monday and we are beginning the fourth week of our course. Now we're just right in the middle. Previously you have studied in-text documentation of sources and you have studied the academic format following the MLA guidelines, and we have studied how to organize the list of works cited. Now that we know how to do all that, it's time to integrate all that we learned last week and put it in practice, writing a one-paragraph essay format where you have to cite your sources at least once. As usual, the first thing that you have to do is open the planner and get acquainted with what you have to do. In this fourth week, we have, as I said before, the one-paragraph essay. You will find all the information about the one-paragraph essay in the learning object of the week. But together with the learning object, you also have to continue using Andrew Landforth's Everyone's an Author, and you have to study the section Reporting Information. Why the section Reporting Information? Because the genre of the writing assignment is expository, and expository writing is about reporting information. To the students that came to the video conference on Saturday, I explained that when you use the expository writing, when you write a summary using the expository genre, you're supposed to convey information in an unbiased way. You're supposed to be providing information without prejudice. You're not supposed to provide opinions. You're not supposed to come up with your own ideas. You're just telling the reader what you're reading in the text. You're putting the words of the author into your own words, but without expressing your opinions. But aside from the genre, we're also seeing the grammar part of a class, and we are going to be paying attention to the use of commas and comma splices on pages 690 through 700. Accordingly, you will have to do one quiz about the comma, and you will have one writing assignment about the one paragraph essay, writing a summary of one of the articles that you have to choose. You will also have to complete 3 self-assessments. In the learning object, you have all the information about the one paragraph essay. I'm writing a general introduction, and I'm giving you one video. On page 2, you have the definition of the one paragraph essay. On page 3, you will find the structure of a one paragraph essay in form of an outline, and you have here an interactive object where I explain the structure in detail. You have the scheme of a one paragraph essay using one example. You may want to notice here that I divided the one paragraph essay into 3 parts: an introductory sentence with a thesis statement, but I separated for practical reason to show you the structure, but this is one single paragraph, and then the body where you support the topic sentence, and a concluding sentence where you have a rewording of the thesis statement or the topic sentence as you introduced it. You have the outline here, and you have examples with a resource further explaining the point of the one paragraph essay. On page 7 of the learning object, you have an entry about the personal approaches that you can use in your essays. For example, in a narrative essay, you use the first person. And in a process essay, you can use the second person, and then you can use the third person in all the other essays. So it's important you take a look at this interactive object where I explain the importance of choosing the right approach. On page 8, I pay special consideration to the audience. Depending on the audience, the type of writing that you do changes. And then on page 9, I'll make a brief introduction to the use of comma, and this is going to help you while doing the exercises on the comma. So this is all you have to do in the learning object. Remember, you will only find information about the one paragraph essay here in the learning object of the week. Since what you're writing is a one paragraph essay summary, it's important that you open the resource that I gave you here, writing an expository summary. And in this resource, I introduce the genre using Andrea Lunsford's definition. I selected a part from her chapter. I give you a checklist for the writing assignment to come. It's important you read this resource thoroughly. And then I give you the essentials for a good summary. I provide the preliminaries beginning from skimming the text that you're planning to summarize, then scanning up to doing critical reading. I'm also giving you here one example. It's crucial that you understand the resource. In the resource, I refer to the notion of naming the source and using author tags all along the summary. After you have chosen the resource, it's time to choose the article that you're working with. If you come to the contents, you see that you have two of the magazines that I'm giving you this module. The Chronicle Review and the other magazine, The Week by the Islamic State. This is the official publication that they issue when the organization was active, and as I explained in the video conference, this is it's going to be difficult reading. So I trust that you can assume this reading with maturity. If you feel that you don't want to work with the complete magazine, I made a couple of copies of the two articles that you have to work with in the module. The third magazine that you have to read, the article where you can find some of the articles, is New Scientist, and I gave you the access information and the instructions of the second writing assignment you have here. The access information. You should use the university user and password. Once you have located the three magazines, I am recommending you to come to the glossary section of the course and find the techniques for reading fast. In intensive reading, previewing, and the reading strategies to save time. Here you have all the strategies to save time. I uncovered from previewing, skimming, scanning, and intensive reading. I put them all together here under the heading reading strategies to save time, but then I separated them one by one, like here: scanning, skimming, previewing, and intensive reading. I recommend that you apply the strategies before reading the article in depth. It's important that you select the right article, but it's important that you go through the different stages of reading, from previewing to skimming to scanning and then intensive reading. What you gain by doing this is that you save time, and then you can be sure about the article that you want to use for each of the 3 writing assignments that are coming. So you now know what you have to do in this 4th week. I'm inviting you to start working right from the outset, and please don't hesitate to contact me if you have a question. Tomorrow I'm going to be sending you 2 resources where I'm concluding the 2nd participation forum and where I'm concluding the 2nd video conference. In these resources, I give you short shrift to the general guidelines to format your essays, working with the core elements, and also I give you all the rules for in-text documentation of sources and documentation of sources in the list of work site. As I said, please don't hesitate to contact me if you have a question. Thank you.